Hi there, and welcome to my next video on my YouTube channel, Unapologetic with Lorelei. Today, like always, I am trying to find a beautiful piece of nature to share with you and to give you a good feeling whilst talking about certain topics that really, I think, relate to many of us, many topics I touch here. And today is about what emotional maturity actually looks like. I know there is emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. It all has its own face, and you all have to decide for yourself how far on that scale you actually are, because you might think one thing, but something else might happen, and that thought of yourself is completely out of the window. So you're going to have to check yourself for some emotional maturity, because it's definitely not something that's loud and that you can just you can Google on it and you have it, or you can learn it just like that. It really means more than that. And but it's very good to have, of course, because if you don't have any kind of sorry to stumble my words here, emotional maturity, then yeah, you might keep running into the same problems as well. But before I'm going to talk more on the topic, I'm going to flip my screen and show you around in the beautiful part of nature where I am at this particular moment. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the topic of today. So, well, I'm going to see you on the other side of the screen, and I would love to have you for you to have a walk with me. See you on the other side of the screen. Right, and this is what I can show you for starters on about the surroundings and the forest where I am at this particular moment. And well, this is a start. It's going to be a lot more from where I am now, but I'll walk slowly and you can enjoy what you're seeing, hopefully. And I can do my talk here. And talking about emotional maturity, that I guess for me myself, I can only say that for a long time I thought maturity looked like having all the answers, or explaining things clearly, or managing my emotions very well, and keeping the peace, or even being reasonable, far beyond my patience sometimes. But I guess I learned that real emotional maturity, it looks really different than I expected. I must admit that it's much more quieter and much more, well, it gives a very good feeling, actually, a very peaceful feeling inside. And very, yeah, it gives confidence, it gives self trust, it builds self trust as well. And I never really expected that. And well, I stumbled here a little bit. But anyhow, I also learned that emotional maturity is also a big deal of not responding or reacting straight away. It's not needing to correct anybody. That's another thing, because I have a lot of people in my surroundings that I see doing their bit of always correcting the other person, and it's pretty annoying, actually. And if you can recognize it and you see it in front of you, well, what you see, you can't unsee it anymore, and it can really become annoying. And and I also learned that emotional maturity, what it doesn't mean is over explaining your choices, because that's another one. You don't have to over explain yourself. And even more stronger than that, I believe it shows some immaturity, because I see people sometimes over explaining themselves and over excusing themselves. And let me tell you, I don't think it looks very strong and very confident. And another thing that I think is what maturity is not, is that you have to, not convince people always to understand you. There's no need for people to always understand you. That's another thing. And the moment you realize all these things, I think that's where your first big lesson of emotional maturity is well, has arisen, or have risen. I don't know exactly how you call it. I'm sorry, by now you must have heard that English is not my mother tongue. And so I'll be doing making some grammar mistakes here, and maybe using the wrongful words for the wrong things. But I'm doing my best here. And in the meantime, I really hope you enjoy nature, as I can show you here right now where I'm walking. But coming back to the topic, I think about emotional maturity, it's really knowing when something just isn't worth your energy anymore. And I must say, I'm talking here from personal experience, from things I have been through, have gone through, and insights I formed for myself, and I just love to share them here with you, and in my channel. And I'm posting daily, by the way, in my channel. I'm posting daily here videos on these kind of topics, more topics, and if you want, you can always subscribe to my channel, or you can leave a thumbs up, or you can even give a comment if you want, because if you want to share your insight, I would be very pleased to read from that as well, because we can all learn from each other. And yeah, I think that's a big deal. Why not? You can learn from each other, and we can all become wiser and have new insights. But to coming back to it, I'm getting a little bit breathless here because the wind, it's pretty windy here, and it's very cold, cold wind. But it's still very nice, though. I must say that. And well, coming back to the thing of when is something worth your energy or not. And it's very good if you can decide that for yourself, if you really are aware of that, because that can save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache and a lot of headache even, I guess. And I learned that I from now on, I want to choose my distance and choose my things without drama. I just definitely are not into drama anymore. I think when we're all younger, whether it's at work or in relationships or whatever, you can always have your great piece of portion of yeah, of drama in your life, and I'm just not standing for that anymore. I really keep that far away from my home and from my heart. And I believe I'm a pretty sensitive person, and for me it was also a big deal of learning, of to allowing people to feel disappointed. I always wanted to help them and make them sure otherwise, or comfort them, or try to cheer them up, and I'm not doing that anymore. And that's yeah, that is a way of a certain kind of maturity. It is what it is, because if you stop doing that, you give the other person a chance to be more mature and to be a little bit more independent and or self-reliant rather. But it's also for me a big lesson. It was for me a big lesson. I have to allow other people, yeah, to feel disappointed, and without me having the need to step in there. And also letting misunderstandings just exist. You don't have to sort out everything. Every misunderstanding doesn't need to be you know, worked out and worked away. Even in relations with family members. I have for instance, close by, my sister and I, we love each other. We are sisters, but we are very different with very different ideas and very different values. And there comes a time. I'm 63 years of age now. She's a few years older. That you don't have to fix it all anymore, and you don't have to make it all smooth. We just have to accept it for what it is, and it's not giving up. It's maturity, I guess. That's the right word for it. You're acting like became a real grown up in that respect. And I guess in the case of me and my sister, we both trust ourselves enough to know, to realize that we don't have to prove our points anymore so desperately, and we don't have to win conversations anymore like people sometimes do in at work or on family parties even. Every you have these family members, they always go for it, and they always want to prove their point, and they won't stop until they're right. And well, that's another one that you have to learn if you want to grow up and be mature about your emotions, to stop doing that. Well, once again, this is my belief, this is my thoughts about being mature about your emotions and the way you deal with it. And all of this, I don't mean to say um, that you don't care anymore, and it doesn't mean that you don't care anymore. You start to care less, but you just make sure that you care enough and not care too much to still protect your own peace. So it doesn't have to go in cost of your own peace, your own inner peace. And I think actually when I really am honest about it, I think that one of the biggest signs for me personally, I realized that about emotional maturity is that how little you need to explain yourself. Really, 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 you don't. And you can be all by yourself and be with your own thoughts and be quite content with that. And you don't have to explain yourself. People believe you, don't believe you. People judge you, despite of what you're saying. And so save your breath in that respect and save your energy, because it won't work on anyway. So um, well, a few people might. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to say, be protective and be mature about who and what you share and how much you share with other people, because that's where it's all about. And then you will feel automatically what feels right and what doesn't, and then you will start to act accordingly. Well, I guess I can say that happens with me in my life, in my world, and different occasions with different people, and it makes you feel good. It really builds up your self esteem. I can really advise that, especially on an older age, because we have so much baggage already, and yeah, it's time to sort out the baggage from what's valuable and what's no longer valuable anymore in our lives. So I guess I could say that, in my belief, it's that when you notice that you're calmer than before, and you're less reactive than before, and less interested in any drama, and more into positive energy, then you can say, you can be honest and feel no way, not feel guilty, but it's really, really just a matter of protecting your energy. And that's a good thing to do. So you're not detaching yourself. Don't let people say that. Don't let people make you feel guilty. And it's just pure growth. And it can happen in any phase, in any stage of your life. And I think that's what emotional maturity is taking root just right there. It's just growth. And well, maybe my words triggered something for you. Maybe it resonates, and you're happy with my words, and and what I'm showing you here, because it's really still a very beautiful piece of nature. I hope you catch the vibe a little bit of what I'm showing you here. A beautiful piece. And once again, by my words here, I'm finishing off here my video for today. I hope to see you in my next video. As I said, I'm posting daily. You can subscribe to my channel or not. It's all up to you. But in the meantime, I still wish you a very, very nice day. And I hope you take care of yourself. Very good care of yourself and your loved ones. So, see you in my next video. Bye.